Welcome back to another episode of In the Living Room with Stephanie Lopez. Today I have a special guest that will be discussing a topic that I'm sure at some point everybody confronts. And the topic is gaslighting and narcissism. Let me introduce my guest to you today.
Hi, everybody. For me, it's an honor to be in this program. Stephanie, thank you for the honor of having me. My name is Isolene Constancia. I'm a psychologist, and I work as a psychologist, and I love my job. I'm from Curacao. For those who doesn't know, Curacao is a little island in the Caribbean. Um, we are a Dutch island. Officially, our native language is Dutch, but we have our own language, which is Papiamento. And most of the people here, we speak Papiamento, Dutch, Spanish, English, and some of us Portuguese and a little bit of French.
Wow, how big is that island? How big is it?
Island, yes.
It's a population.
We have like 160,000 people.
Oh, that's not bad. One day I must come. Can I ask you to say a short prayer?
Yes. Yes. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we come before you. We honor you, we praise you, and we give you all the glory. Father, we ask you for your Holy Spirit to guide us. Everything that comes out of our mouth will be to glorify you and will be in your control and will be guided by your Holy Spirit. We ask you this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Today, we're going to just delve into this topic of gaslighting and narcissism. And if you have questions, anyone with questions, I'd like you to send your questions along, jot it down as we stream this, and Isolene will be responding to your questions. Let's start off. Now, what is the concept of gaslighting and narcissism?
Okay, first of all, it's very important to say that they are very different things. When we talk about narcissism, we talk about a personality disorder, and a personality disorder is like a psychological disorder, like clinical disorder. And the thing with a personality disorder is that it doesn't change. It's very difficult to change. When somebody is diagnosed with a personality disorder, it's because they have like years of the same patterns and certain beliefs and certain behaviors that is very difficult to change. So, and narcissism is one of a personality disorder that is characterized by a feeling of entitlement, self-centeredness, lack of empathy, and like the person feels that they are so special. They love status, they love accomplishments, they love praise, they love validation. So a person with a narcissistic personality disorder is someone who years they are like feeling like they're better than others, that they love, but the way that they love is it's a little bit selfish. Their love, the way that they love is for to have someone that they can show off with, somebody who has status, somebody who can do something for their image or for themselves, and they love the constant validation and admiration that they get from the lover or from people around. That is in a very in a nutshell explaining narcissism. So, and I hear a lot of people talk of of calling others narcissist. It's like very common. And when we say that somebody is a narcissist, we have to be careful because we cannot diagnose somebody just because they have certain behavior. Like I say, a personality disorder has to be diagnosed by a professional, by a qualified professional. So we have a lot of people in this period that has a lot of entitlement, maybe lack of empathy. So That's why sometimes people say, "Oh, that person is a narcissist," but with a narcissist, the pattern of the behavior, it doesn't change. They have like a lot of examples or behavior that you can before you say, "Oh, this person is a narcissist." One thing also about personality disorder, we never diagnose a person with a personality disorder before they reach the age of 18. So before that, we cannot say that a person has a personality disorder.
And
And
that
when we talk about gaslighting, gaslighting is something that someone with a narcissism use a lot, but it doesn't mean that only a person with narcissism, sorry, somebody that gaslights you is a narcissist. So two different things. Um, we talk about gaslighting, it is maybe important that I share how they came with the name gaslighting.
yes.
Gaslighting started, I think it was in the year 1948 when there was a movie that's named Gaslight, or Gaslighting, I think. And it is about a man who married a woman, and in the women's attic, there's something that the man was interested in. And back in those days, the lighting wasn't powered by electricity, but it was powered by gas. So let's say if you're in the bathroom and you turn the light on in the room, the light in the bathroom is on, and you turn the light on, let's say in the living room, the light in the bedroom will dim. So every time that this lady was or in one of the rooms, and the man will go into the attic and turn on the light, when he comes back, the lady will ask him, "Hey, what were you doing? Where were you that you were, turning on the light?" And the man was like, "Me turning a light? I didn't turn no light on." And the lady will be like, "Yes, because I saw that the light in here dimmed." And the man will be, "No, I didn't turn no light on. Are you maybe imagining things?" And so he started with a pattern of doing things and questioning his wife's thoughts and things that she said constantly. So he would, every time that she would say something, he would like dismiss her or tell her, "Are you sure? Is your memory impaired? Um, I think you're imagining things." And like he would flirt with the housekeeper, and the woman would get mad, and he would be like, "Me flirt with her? You're imagining things again." The housekeeper will be like short with her or talk like in not a nice manner with her. And when she says, don't you see how she's talking to me?" He would be like, "But she was very nice and polite to you. Are you imagining things?" So constantly making her believe that she is crazy, that she's not in her right mind, questioning her memories, questioning her reasoning, and in a very I don't know the right word, but um like consequent every day. And he wouldn't stop. So at some point, the lady started to believe that she's crazy, that she can't trust her memories, that she can't trust her emotions, that she can't trust her reasoning. So that's what we call gaslighting. And of course, that's a very extreme form of gaslighting. But we are going to talk a little bit more today about other forms that somebody can gaslight a person and why they do it. So when we say about gaslighting, one time somebody say, "Hey, are you sure or you're not? Are you crazy?" It doesn't mean it's gaslighting. Again, with gaslighting, there has to be a pattern. So when you say, "Oh, I'm being gaslighted," it's because the person who does it to you, and it can be a partner, but it can be a friend, it can be a coworker, it can be a manager. So every relation that we have, someone can be gaslighted.
Wow.
Yes.
That is something else. I wonder, and the idea is to make you feel as if you are foolish, or you're not hearing right,
Crazy.
or you're not in your right mind.
Yes.
Something is to demean you.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And the problem with gaslighting is like because gaslighting is a form of emotional abuse. And with physical abuse, it's very, you can see it. You have scars, you have like a bruise or something to say, hey, I have pain here, you hit me or you pushed me. What? So it's visible. But with gaslighting, it is not visible. And because the person who is being gaslighted is doubting herself or himself,
Yes.
it is something, it's someone
Drive you
who's going through
crazy.
gaslighting not easily can say, oh, I'm being gaslighted, because it's not easily recognized. And when
Yes.
you doubt yourself, when you think, oh, I'm the crazy one, or I'm the one that I don't remember, I can't remember, my memory is not that good, or maybe what I'm thinking, I'm stupid, or I'm not good enough for thinking this. So you will always give the other person, um how do you
The
say,
recognition, the right.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
Wow.
yes.
That is
Mm-hmm.
so sad. I wonder how many of us has been gaslighted and have not recognized that that's what's taking place. You have
Yes,
to be in your sound mind, I think, and you have to be aware of your own self.
yes. But when somebody does this, because the reason that someone gaslight another is to have power and control. And most of the times it's in a abusive relationship. The person wants to have power over you, the person wants to have control over you. Maybe we can talk a little bit more about the strategics, or the strategies that a gaslighter use.
Yes.
um, but the purpose is to maintain or to have or to gain power and control above somebody else. The first thing, easy, is lying.
Yes.
Is like the man will go up, and the lady will ask, hey, where were you? You were in another room, you turned on the light. No, I did not. And one thing that I say, the one in one situation that there's always gaslighting is when there is infidelity, like cheating. If the partner, and it's not only that men gaslights women, it's also women that gaslights men. So
We'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
Immerse yourself in faith, hope, and community on CHRY TV. Streaming uplifting church services, CHRY TV is your sanctuary in the digital sphere. Find us and subscribe on Roku, Facebook, and YouTube. Experience spiritual nourishment on CHRY TV, where faith meets fellowship. Join us today.
Welcome back. My guest again is Dr. Iselin Constancia.
um yeah, so when there's cheating, there's a lot of gaslighting. The partner will come home late and it's like, where have you been? Oh, I was at work. But I called you, or I went by your office, you weren't there. Are you sure? No, I think you must. I When you came, maybe I just left. Are you sure you did you look for my car? Did you go all the way to the back? And that's one thing. Like a person comes with lipstick on their on their collar, and it's like, I don't know. I think some lady, I was helping her. She tripped and popped. This happens. So when there's cheating, there's a lot of gaslighting by lying. I was here while the person was there. But it's also like, the partner will come with like cologne, another, how do you say, smell.
Yes.
And when the partner will ask, hey, you smell like a cologne that I do not recognize, you sure? I haven't seen, I haven't even hugged anybody. I think you have to go test your nose, because the other day you were smelling something and it wasn't smelling at all. So I think you might be inventing something, or there might be something. And I always remember the case, and I've talked about this, of a lady. She was a doctor, and she was married. No, she wasn't married. They were like partners living together, and the partner will tell her every time, like, you smell. Like they will go out and the partner will come and, hug her and like, did you shower?
Yes.
Oh, did you brush your teeth? And she got so insecure that she went to another doctor to do a full checkup because she thought she was smelling. And even though it was only him telling her that you're smelling, she started doubting herself. She became very insecure, not going, like showering like 2-3 times after showering, and still have the feeling that, oh, maybe I didn't shower good. So that's something that can break somebody emotionally.
Yes. It sounds like it could be a prelude to divorce.
Oh yes, of course. But when you doubt yourself, you won't think that the person won't think that I'm the problem. The person will think I'm the problem in the sense that there's something wrong with me, so I should change. I should change my behavior. I should shower more, or I should change my cologne, or I should use another deodorant. So you won't think that the person is the problem, but you have something that's not good. And somebody can gaslight you with anything. It's sometimes when a partner wants to make their partners insecure and make sure that they stay, they can tell them, oh, you're so ugly, or oh, is that what you're wearing? Or, oh, this is how you're doing your hair? Are you done? I don't think you're finished. Oh, your makeup. What did you do today? So, and it's not, it's something that makes the partner insecure. And what will happen when your partner is insecure? They will not leave you. And like I say, I want to keep repeating, it's not only that man that does this to women, but also women does this to men. So one of the strategies that we talk about is like lying, but discrediting the other person, like telling them, like when you say, like, have a heart, you're late again. What we said we are going to come home at 5 o'clock, it's 10 o'clock. What is happening? And the person will be like, I think you're crazy. I told you I'm going to come late. There was a possibility. Didn't you hear me say there's a possibility? Why do you have to overreact? I'm here, right? I'm here. So, like, if the partner say 5 o'clock and they come 10 o'clock, I don't say that you have to be angry before asking what happened or what happened, but it's understandable that the partner will be at least a little bit worked up. And when you say, like, you're exaggerating, you're doing crazy again, so why you acting like that? Calm down, chill. You don't have to act like that. It's like the feeling, and like the feeling of the partner is not being respected, it's not being validated, because I think the right thing to do is, I'm sorry, honey, I couldn't call you, or something happened at work. I can understand you're mad, but listen to me, this and what happened. But the person who's gaslighting, they won't do that. They will make you feel like you're the crazy person, you're exaggerating. So the key point is you're crazy. So that's what a gaslighter does. Makes you feel or think that you are crazy.
Yes. It sounds like that's what men or women do when they want to begin a divorce thing. Oh, I can't get along with you. You're crazy. You're nagging. You are so and so. They start gaslighting you.
And it can be to divorce, but it can also be to make your partner so weak that they will not leave you. But they will accept all the behaviors that normally no one will accept.
Yes.
So if I make you believe that you're crazy, I can tell you, oh, I told you 10 o'clock, not 5 o'clock. And you'll be like, oh, yes, all right, yes, okay. Because in your mind, you're thinking, did you tell me 5 o'clock or 10 o'clock? Am I crazy again? Oh, no, let me, because I don't want to seem crazy, or that like I'm the one with the memory issue. Let me say it's okay. So the partner can get away with with murder
Yeah.
or with cheating or whatever the
Yeah.
person is doing.
Oh my gosh. I think that would my question with regards to that is how can I recognize that I'm being gaslit? But that's
Mhm.
what you just said. That are
Yes,
some of the ways.
when somebody has the feeling that you constantly doubt yourself, like your partner constantly telling you you're crazy or you're not in your right mind or you're forgetting,
Yes.
you're imagining things, that's like big red flag. That's like a
very
big
bad.
sign.
Yeah.
And what will happen then is that you will constantly doubt yourself, not only in regard to your partner, but in everything you do. You feel like, oh, am I right? Am I crazy? Am I doing this all right? Or maybe, no, I don't. When you're doubting yourself and doubting your reality, hey, that's a sign you are being gaslighted. There's a sign you're being gaslighted, because when you are in a healthy relationship, if you forget something, or if you maybe, let's say your partner did tell you they will come 10 o'clock and you forgot,
Yes.
a loving partner will sit and say, hey baby, remember we were talking and I told you today it's not going to be 5 o'clock, it's going to be 10 o'clock because this and this and this. And then you will be like, oh, okay, maybe I forgot. Or you'll be like, oh yes, of course, that's the problem. But like constantly, it is when, if somebody, if you don't have like Alzheimer or a neurocognitive disorder, and you have memory problems, you shouldn't be doubting your memory at a young age.
Yes.
Older, we can understand, we can do tests and find out. But when you're a younger person, it is not normal. So you're in a relationship where you start doubting yourself, doubting your reality, questioning your judgments. When, like say you went and you bought steak for dinner, and you're thinking, maybe I shouldn't have bought steak, I should have bought chicken, because when I cook steak, he will say, no, steak is unhealthy. But if I cook chicken, he will say he doesn't like chicken. So you're constantly in small things. It's not like big decisions. It's like in everything. You shower and you're thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't use this soap. Maybe I should change my soap. And it's in those little things that every time you're doubting yourself, you have to be aware. Why? Where does this come from?
Yes.
Another thing is like feeling constantly vulnerable or insecure, like feeling like you can't defend yourself, like you're powerless, or feeling like you can't do anything. Maybe you were somebody who could cook very good. You were a good cook, and now you're thinking like, I can't cook that, and my cooking is not that good. Maybe you were something that could sing or can sing, and you're thinking, no, I rather when I'm at church, let me just mouth the words and do as if I'm singing. Because so when you're doubting yourself, it's also a red flag. It can be a sign, because when you're doubting yourself, you have to ask yourself, why? Where does this come from? And if your answer is, oh, because my partner constantly tells me, you sing like me,
Yes.
or you sing.
So it's a constant repetitive behavior from one person to the next.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
And that should be easy to recognize. How could somebody keep telling you, oh, if something is wrong with you? It's not coming from you, it's coming from them, telling you all the time that something
Yes.
is wrong with you.
Yes. And when somebody does that, you have, and sometimes it's something's wrong with you, or you have a bad character, your character. Am I saying it right? Like your personality.
We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back with Dr. Iselin Constancia.
Children's book by Audrey and Kieran Forbes, The Day the Masks Went On, is an intriguing and endearing tale that is enchanting young readers everywhere. Suited for ages 7 to 11 years, the inquisitive young detective Dillard was on a cause to unlock a true life mystery. The Day the Masks Went On offers a great way to support a local community cause, as 100% of the proceeds are being donated. Get your copy today from the authors at ddjr2023@outlook.com or on amazon.com.
Welcome back, Doctor. Yes,
Mhm.
so those are the red flags that people can use to.
Yes, and when you're in a relationship
Yes.
where you're constantly confused about the behavior of your partner. Like for one day, they're like the best person ever. And here is where the narcissism and the gaslighting crosses each other, because this also happens a lot when somebody has narcissism. So your partner one day, they're like the best person. They love bomb you. They treat you right. They bring you flowers. They do like nice thing, and they treat you like a queen or a king. And then the other day, you feel like you are walking on eggshell. Like in a second, the person can go off and or insult you or telling something is wrong or yell or and make you feel like you are not good enough or you're doing something wrong. So that's also one of the red flags of a behavior of somebody who gaslights. And one thing also is like your partner does something wrong and you go to say, hey honey, I'm not glad because I didn't like the way, for instance, I didn't like the way you talked to me. And when you finish the conversation, you ended up being the one who did something wrong, and you end up apologizing. So it will be like maybe something like, do you think that the way you looked at me or the thing that you did, don't you know that every time you do that, I get so uncomfortable? Don't you think you hurt me? That is why you always make me behave like this. And I end up feeling like the bad guy. And you're like, oh, I'm sorry, honey. How did I look at you? Or what did I say? And no, leave it. Because you always do as if you are the victim. And I'm trying my best here. So the gaslighter is a good manipulator, but also a good actor or actress.
It sounds to me now, when you spoke about, you made a distinction between a gaslighter and a narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I think I understood that one has to be diagnosed.
Yes,
So
narcissist has to be diagnosed, a narcissist.
So it's a mental disorder then? Like
Excuse me?
It's a mental disorder.
It's a mental disorder, yes. But it's more like we call it personality disorder because the disorder is more in the behavior. And of course it's thinking pattern, but it's not a mental health issue like when somebody like you have mental issues where somebody gets psychotic or that the emotions varies too much, like with depression or bipolar disorder. So with the personality disorder, it's the pattern. The disorder is in the pattern of behavior and the thinking. Because with narcissists, for example, the cognitive patterns are like they think like they're special. They really believe that. They believe that they're special, that they deserve special treatment. They have like a sense of entitlement, like they are meant for great things. They are meant to be with important people. Status is very important to them. Their image is very important to them. And with a narcissist, with somebody who gaslights you, they only make you feel like you're crazy, like this doesn't work very good. But with the narcissist, one of the strategies of a narcissist is that they will break you. They will tell you like upfront, you're not good enough. You're not good enough for me. Like the way you're dressed, you think like blue. What went into your mind for you to put blue on? Blue is not your color. So they will break you. They will, now the first time someone meets a narcissist, they will not be able to tell they are a narcissist. Why? Because a narcissist, they are like very social. They're like very charismatic. They will talk and they will praise you. They will make you feel special. But they do that only to person who can do something for their image, or someone who can do something for their status. And sometimes it's just recognition that they want, but the first time you meet them, they will be like talking and they will be the center of the attention, always the center of the attention. When somebody wants to come and like be the center of the attention, that's where they turn. That's where they break the other person. So with the narcissist, they not only do they gaslight, but they will insult you, they will break you, they will make you feel like you're not good enough. And the moment you cannot do anything for their image or for their status, you're gone. They don't form like lasting and healthy attachments. The attachment is for them is
status.
Is status.
Yes.
It's the image. Like when you somebody with a narcissistic trait, they love name dropping. Like I will tell you, do you know Steve Harvey? Steve Harvey, me and Steve Harvey. Oh, I can't even tell you, me and Steve Harvey. It's like every time he asks me to come in one of his shows, and I'm like, no, Steve, no, not me. Steve Harvey has never heard of me ever, but I will be talking like we are best friends, or like he wants me while he doesn't even know who I am.
Yes. So they make themselves look bigger than life.
Oh yes,
Important.
yes.
You can't do without them. They are also always the center of attention. Always the center of attention. Wow.
And
So I was going to say, how would I, if I'm a person that's being gaslit, what effective strategies can I use to confront this person again?
Okay. It's when you are living with somebody, let's say we live with somebody with narcissistic traits.
Yes.
And you're not only being gaslighted, you're also being abused, most of the time verbally abused, and of course emotionally abused. The first thing to do is to, I always say, have a journal, write down, because when you doubt yourself, it's very difficult. You don't have like it, when a computer, you can go into the computer and search and there's the document. But if you don't have anything written, you don't have anything. And it doesn't have to be a way that's like you're paranoid, like writing everything down to check cross. But it's good to hold a diary, because when something happens, you can go and back. A diary is also good to write your affirmations, write who you are in God, write what the Bible says you are. Because if you perceive yourself in the perception of the narcissist, of the gaslighter, you will think that you are not good enough, that you are crazy, that you are not to be trusted, that you are paranoid, that you are weak. And you have to know who you are. So that's something that I say, start writing your affirmations, start writing who you are, start writing what you believe, and that you are good the way you are. So that's one thing. The second thing is, with a narcissist, you have to have boundaries. You have to say when the behavior is not okay, and you have to confront, because when you confront about like, let's say the person told you you're not good enough, and you will say, this is not acceptable, I will not have you insult me, I will not accept this behavior. Then you will the narcissist or the gaslighter will tell you, You're so sensitive. I can't be myself with you. I can every time I tell you you are so sensitive. I don't think I'm the problem. I think you're the problem. So you have to confront them about that also. Like, listen, every time you dismiss my feelings, you play as if you're the victim. Let's be real here. I am not going to accept this behavior. So you have to have boundaries. When they do something that's unacceptable, because in front of people, a narcissist can discredit you, and you will have to say that you do not tolerate those kind of behavior. So if you say like a couple of times, I don't accept this, and the behavior keeps repeating, then it's time for, because I don't think if you're in a relationship, if you're married, I don't think that you can say, hey, let's divorce. That's not the issue. But you will say that you will not continue with the relationship as it is if you don't get help, if both of you don't get help. Because if the person loves you, you are valuable to them, they will seek help. Only the first thing that they will seek help for with, they will seek help and they will come and they will say, like, I came because my partner believes that I'm the problem, but can you explain to him or to her that he or she is the problem? So at the point they will accept that they're wrong, at the moment that they are threatening to lose something that's dear to them, that's valuable to them. So if you stay there and you accept the behavior, they will not change. And sometimes it means that you have to take like, and especially if the abuse, because not only physical abuse is like the worst kind of abuse, emotional abuse is also a very hurtful. It's extreme.
Yes.
And gaslighting too, because that a person who loves you will never make you believe that you are not in your right mind. So, and that is more how do you say, like when you have a handicap, like it's more, you are more incapacitated when your beliefs are broken, when you can trust in your own belief. It's worse than when you're beaten. So you have to sometimes take distance and make sure to work on the relationship. Make sure that your partner understands. And I've had like clients who, and these were good because they were young clients, who came because their partner were having narcissistic behavior. They were being gaslighted, and it was easy to say, hey, stop the relationship and you work on your problems, or then we are going to work together. And then and sometimes it takes about 1.5 years, sometimes 2 years, but only when the person sees like, oh, I love this person, I want this person, that they are willing to change. So accepting the behavior is not an option, and seeking professional help. I know that sometimes in the Christian community, I know there's a lot of controversy about seeking professional help. And there are psychologists and psychiatrists and counselors that are Christians. So you can get help with somebody who has knowledge about this, because the person who has been gaslighted, their confidence has to be restored again. You have to start to have confidence in your own behavior, in your own beliefs, in your own thoughts, and knowing when you are doing cray-cray and knowing when somebody is telling you that you're cray-cray. So that it's very important to seek help.
It sounds to me like I believe I possibly may know some people who are at least a person who may be, but they don't know that they are, and they're willing to leave and to find another person as a woman or whatever, or a man, and the behavior continues. So the best way you're saying is to confront them.
Yes, you have to confront.
Make a
And
journal.
if you,
Yes.
no, because we have to also be careful, because we are talking only about gaslighting. And sometimes it happens, it's only gaslighting, but in most relationship where there's abuse, there are other forms of abuse. So if you feel like you're not safe, seek professional help and tell the person, hey, I feel like I might be in some kind of danger, because it is when the person who is abusive, they feel like they're losing their partner, they can become very aggressive and very dangerous. So I just want to say this also, because we're talking about gaslighting, but gaslighting is not the only form of abuse. So if you're being physically abused by your partner and you're also gaslighted, seek professional help and talk to the person, to your counselor, about the dangers that you are in. And you are not, no, God didn't create us to live in abuse, to be abused. I'm like, if we have to talk about, because I hear a lot of a person that say, oh, like God, the woman has to be submissive, so that means that they have to endure everything. But the Bible says, like, very clear, men, love your wife, love your wife as Christ loved the church. So I never saw Christ beating the church. I never saw Christ insulting the church or make the church believe they're crazy. So the love that Christ gave was to give his own life. So that means that if you have a partner, if you have a wife, you have to love till the point that you are willing to sacrifice yourself. And in that way, then the Bible says, women, respect your husband. Because that's the only, and then the circle is full, because a woman, it's very easy for a woman to love.
Yes.
But it's because of the nature of the women, and I don't want to make it sound as if it's only women, but because of the nature of the women can be mentally broken very easily. So if you are going through any kind of abuse, seek help. Let's seek professional help also, because I believe that God can do miracles, but sometimes God puts person in our path to help us to get through something, to get to a better place. Absolutely. We do not have to keep living in a situation, because I know, and I'm sorry, maybe I don't know if it's my place to say this, but I see a lot in church, because we're in church, we tend to keep silent. We tend to not talk about this, because sometimes it's somebody who's like prominent in the church. So it doesn't matter who it is. This should not be happening to anybody.
Let them feel as if they're less than.
Yes.
That's a bad thing.
And maybe I just want to say this. Yes. Because the narcissist, most of the time, and like I paint a picture like the narcissist is like a very confident person and very strong, but in the core, they are very insecure.
Very weak.
They feel they're small. So that's why they overcompensate. Every time when they feel like somebody is getting to their level, they have to break that person. So the person is lower than them. So it comes from a feeling, a deep feeling of insecurity. So the narcissist, if you recognize like you're having beliefs of entitlement, that you have to feel that people have to praise you in order for you to feel important. It's a suffering. For the narcissist, it is a suffering, but they will never admit it in front of, maybe not even for themselves, but let alone in front of others. But you suffer, because nobody should be living with the idea that they're not good enough, because God created us perfectly. Like, we are loved, we are good enough, and we all make mistakes. We all have like shortcomings. It's okay to have that, but we cannot live like feeling like we're insecure and breaking others or making others feel bad in order for us to feel better. Yeah. But one thing that a narcissist and a gaslighter always does is making somebody feel inferior, like breaking the other person. Yes. Like saying like you're not good enough, or you
They
let
just
me see.
break down their spirit, make them feel
Yes,
less than.
yes,
Because I think the idea here is that they always must be superior. They must be above you, and you must
yes,
be the ant.
yes. And they will like not only break you, not only make you feel like you're not good enough, not only make you feel like you are not um yeah, like you're not good enough, like telling you that you
Yes,
something that maybe you do something good, and they're like, nah,
yeah,
no, that's not that. You're not that wobbish. So
yes,
that's something that they do. They will dismiss your feelings. That's also something that both does.
yeah,
Like you're exaggerating, and you're not doing this. You're like you're feeling. They are not. You don't have the rights to have the feeling.
you have. And
Yes.
it's so bad. They make you feel weak, insecure, or crazy.
Of course. And a narcissist, when they gaslight, they make you feel crazy, but the narcissist, for most of the time, they will make you feel insecure. Like you cannot live without them. That like they're better than you, and actually you are where you are for them. You are happy because of them. You are
Yes,
important because of them.
yes,
So, and that's something that a narcissist does. It's the confusion. It's
uh,
like the making you feel like some of the days they are like very um charismatic, and they treat you like a queen or like a king. You're being love bombed. They do special things for you, and suddenly it's like you're walking on eggshells.
yes,
Suddenly you have to like tiptoe around them, because they can insult you, or can you make you feel like you're crazy, or like you did something, like something small that you did becomes something very big. And that's where, when I said, that's where
they get
they
affected.
cross path. A
Yes,
narcissist use gaslight gas or narcissist gaslights a lot, because when they gaslight, they get the sense of power. They have control over you. So that's why somebody with narcissistic personality disorder or with narcissistic traits, they will gaslight a lot, because that's how they keep control over their partner.
they're weak.
Yes,
They're
and
basically weak.
when you see like a lot of like shows or movies these days, it's like it's I don't know, maybe because the concept wasn't known a lot before, but it's like it's everywhere. Like if you see like some shows, you will see like that people are being gaslighted, and sometimes it's with big things, but sometimes it's in small things. And we have to be aware, because everybody can have a gaslighting behavior. Like,
Yeah,
for example, if I told my husband I would wash the dishes,
yeah.
and I was like a little bit lazy and I didn't, and he will come and, hey honey, you didn't wash the dishes. I'm like, oh, was I
See
supposed
that?
to? That's it's like a behavior of gaslighting.
Yeah,
But why does that mean that I'm a gaslighter? No, it means that one time I wasn't mature enough to say, oh honey, I am sorry, I was being lazy.
yeah,
um, Forgive me, I will do them in a moment. So a lot of people that gaslights also has to do also with someone that is not mature enough. Because one thing, we sometimes people are educated to believe that when you make a mistake, or when you are not right, that it means something very bad. If sorry if you say like, oh, I did this wrong, or I was wrong in this matter, it's like you're weak or you're not good enough. And that's why people that is also a reason that people starts to gaslight, to maintain the impression that they're always right,
yeah,
that they're, let's say, perfect.
yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. That is
One thing that
interesting. Yes.
someone who gaslights also do, they do rewrite history. And this is something that I saw in a show lately. I was so mad about this. It's because the man cheated, and he told her partner that I didn't cheat. The moment he told me that our relationship was over, that is the moment that I kissed the other person. And he kept insisting on this. And after 2 years, they got back together. After 2 years, the lady um, 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 I don't came after that. Oh no, he was cheating like for more than 6 months before that. So it's like rewriting the history and
Wow.
blaming, victim blaming. That is what we call victim blaming. You told me it was over, so I was
I had another
free to
relationship.
do anything I wanted.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
I,
so that's
as you speak, I'm also thinking about, I saw one of these divorce shows. I think it was Divorce. These two people in court, and the man looks nice and everything, and the woman says, that man, when he sees all his friends, I'm the best, I'm your wife. But when I'm at home, I can't cook anything, I can't do anything. She just wants a divorce, she wants out. And he's there looking like a pretty puss, you know?
and and that's a very narcissistic behavior,
Yes.
because what the man, he doesn't um praise the his wife
Mm-hmm.
because he wants his wife to be praised.
Mm-hmm.
Probably he knows that in their group of friends,
Mm-hmm.
a good husband is seen as like his has status.
Oh
So
yeah.
he will praise his wife in order for him to have status outside.
Okay.
And when he comes home, he can do anything he wants. And when the lady will go to their friends and say, hey, my husband does this to me, what will the friends say?
I won't believe.
Of course not. Of
Oh
course not. So, and these are very toxic and dysfunctional behaviors. These
yes.
are behaviors that hurt people, that causes a lot of pain, that causes mental health issues, because it's a mental health issue when you doubt yourself, when you constantly think less of yourself. So it is very important when these things. I can understand that the lady is saying like, I'm out,
Yes.
because I don't think it's like a little, that the behavior was like once or twice.
Mhm.
It's repetitive behavior.
Yes. That's the reason most people suffer in silence.
Yes.
From the
Yeah.
inside.
And
Wow.
and what will happen when, like, you go to a sister or a brother in church, and
Yes.
my husband, who is very well perceived, who
Yes.
has a status, who's like, oh, he's like, let me use my husband. I have a very good husband, so
Yes.
it's just example.
Yes.
Like my husband's name is Launchy, and like brother Launchy, he's like a good man. If I come and say like, hey, Launchy makes me feel like I'm inferior and he doesn't treat me right, I think that the people will think like, Sister Isolan, I think you might be the problem.
Yes, exactly. Yes. That's exactly what they'll think, because in this case, with that situation that I saw, that's
Mhm.
exactly what the woman was experiencing.
Yes. And what do you do
Yes.
then? Then you suffer, like you said, you suffer in silence. You
Yes.
will not say what you're feeling. You won't talk to anybody, because you know what's hurtful? And this is what we call victim blaming.
Mm-hmm.
When I, as a victim, comes to you and I tell you, I'm being gaslighted. My husband makes me feel like I'm crazy, like I'm not good enough. And you're like, why? Tell me, give me an example. And I tell you, yeah, but he tells me that I can cook. The first thing you'll say, but every time I talk to your husband always praise your cooking. So And give me another example. Like he tells me when we go out, he tells me like I look ugly. And he always he talks about how beautiful you are. So you don't have like a way out. Or we say, are you sure? I've heard worse. I've heard people say like, "La, yeah, you choose your partner, so you chose him or you chose her, so you have to live with it. So I didn't choose for you." So that's things that are behavior that makes us keep silent and keep suffering. And I really, 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 really not believe, but I know that God didn't make us for us to didn't create us to suffer. He
Absolutely.
created us to have healthy relationship, to be heard, or to be heard in our relationship, to feel loved, to have compassion. And talking about compassion, someone who gaslights also use compassion and love as a weapon.
Yes.
Like,
Wow.
um, I love you. You know how much I love you. Why is it that always you make me behave like this? Or you know how much I do for this relationship and you always make me look like the victim. One time, this is the only time I yelled at you or I told you something. Can't you have have a heart? How can you make me? You don't I bring you flowers? Don't I clean? Don't I cook? I do everything for you, and now you're like I'm the bad guy. Or
Wow.
telling people like there are people worse than I am. People that I know, husbands or wife that does a lot of things worse than I did. Me, it was only one time, and you condemn me. Do you know my mother? She left, or um, my father or my mother cheated on them for years. They didn't give money. I give money in the house. What do you want from me? So
Wow.
it's like
Wow.
I think it's very cruel.
It's absolute cruel. That sounds like silent murder. Silent
That's
suffering
a
and
very
silent
beautiful
anger.
way to put it.
Yes. Wow. Always blaming others for their actions. Do you have any advice you can give to someone how to really deal with these people? I know you have said it before, but how can a person being gaslit really confront the gaslighter or the narcissist in
Okay,
some way?
let's start with the gaslighter. Um, it's first of all, it's knowledge. Is to know that you're being gaslighted. I think before you can confront the gaslighter, you have to work on your confidence. You have to, because the moment you go to a gaslighter and you're not strong enough, and the gaslighter will say like, because they have the tendency to manipulate and make you feel like the bad guy, you will end up apologizing. So you have to really know that you're being gaslighted, that you can stand up to the person. If you can do it alone, seek for professional help or seek somebody you trust to intermediate, and that can with somebody with knowledge, because sometimes you have people with very good heart, they want to intermediate, but because of lack of knowledge, they can sometimes give wrong advice, or advice that's not that doesn't help. So make sure that you're confident when you, like I said, hold a record, a journal of your day, or because you know that um, um, the gaslighter rewrites history.
Yes.
Sometimes if your husband or your wife tells you, hey, I'll be home at 5, you send a message, hey, honey, I'll be waiting at home for you at 5. Love you. Or like you said, at 5 o'clock, love you, so you have proof. That's one thing. You have to confront them about their behavior. Well, if they lie, if they make you feel like you're crazy, you can say you do not tolerate them telling you that you're crazy. They don't get to dismiss your feelings. You have the rights to have your feelings, the same way that you have to acknowledge their feelings too. And I think it's always a balance. Like you tell them, like I want you to validate my feelings, and I have the right to feel what I feel, but you also have the right to feel what you feel. But we have to come together. We have to find each other halfway or somewhere in the middle, somewhere. We have to find each other. But my emotions and my feelings are important, so are yours. We are not going to do as if yours are more important or mine are more important, or both our feelings are important.
Yes.
That's something very good to say. Sometimes you cannot accept some behavior. Some behavior you cannot accept them, and if they repeat, that means that some drastic how do you say, that drastic consequence has to come. And with drastic, I don't mean like physical drastic, just to make sure, but that you say, hey, wait, pause, let's time out for a moment. And time out in a marriage never means that you are allowed to see or to talk to somebody else. Just to put that out there, because I know that there are people who say, yeah, but you said time out. No, define time out. Take distance. Seek like a professional help. And I mean, for me, it's very difficult, because if it's like some people who has a relationship and they're not married, it's easily for me to say, hey, stop the relationship, pause the relationship, and I always let the couple that they decide if they want to stop the relationship, like 100% stop. If they stop, or they want to be faithful, or they stop, with boundaries. And sometimes I say, when there's a lot of hurt, I say stop, zero contact for like 2 to 6 months. Everybody has to work on their own issues. And when they're like ready, we say, hey, we can start contact. The funny thing is, most of the time, they always start contact without me knowing. They're honest to come and say, hey, yeah, we started talking to each other. And I leave that, because it's not, I will never say you have to do this. Yes. So if you do this, just be aware that the consequence can be this and this and this. So sometimes you have to, and in a marriage, you have to pause the relationship. Everybody works on their issues and then come together. Then we can work out together. Like I had a client, and this is a little bit. It was this the let me say, the man. He had autistic tendencies, so for him it was very difficult that when he tells he tells her girlfriend, like, oh, you sound like you're psychotic, that he couldn't understand why that would be hurtful to her. So I didn't know anymore how I could explain that to him. But suddenly, after a couple of months, when the lady said no more, and she was like, seriously, I'm breaking this relationship up. And he was like, oh, now I understand. So sometimes we need drastic decisions, because if we keep doing the same thing, we will keep getting the same results. If we keep accepting this behavior, a person who is that has narcissistic tendency or that gaslights, they will not stop, because they will have no incentive for them to stop. So it's important for us sometimes to take drastic measures. And please seek help. One last thing, make sure that you have a good balance in life, that your spiritual life is good, that your social life is good, that you eat right, that you exercise, that you do things that makes you happy. Because when you are in a relationship and you live only for that relationship, when the relationship is going bad, your whole life is going bad. We have to have a healthy lifestyle, a good balance. In first of all is our relationship with God. That has to be good. Second, we have to have like a good like mental health, but also physical health. Exercising, doing things that you love, making sure you're doing your hobbies, are working on your talents or your strengths. So it's important to have a balanced life. So when somebody or gaslights you or tries to break you, that you can say, hey, no, stop. I cannot accept this because I am way too important. I'm God's, the apple of God's eye. I can't accept that people treats me like this. So it's
Absolutely.
important to have this
So
that too.
you have to take a stand on your own dignity. That's
Yes.
important. And this might, I think this is in the same line. If I were at work, if at the workplace,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think I could adapt some of those principles that you just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Stand up for yourself. Let them know how you feel. This is my feeling. I cannot feel for you, but when you speak like that, this is how you make me feel. And I will not stand for that.
Exactly. And what I don't know, because there's a cultural difference in Curacao, like when we have the tendency or to accept a lot to and not say not stand up or not say anything, or we fight.
Yes.
So in we don't no, and this is not for everybody, but it's
Yeah.
like a cultural trait that we tend to be or very submissive or we fight a lot.
Yes.
But if you stand up for yourself, you can stand up without fighting. You can
Yes.
stand up without having to insult or without having to like storm out
Yeah.
or bang the door. No, you can
Yeah.
sit and you can say, "Hey, this is what I perceive. This is the behavior. This is how I feel by this behavior. I will not tolerate this,
Yes.
and this is what I want." And it's okay for you to tell them. And sometimes you talk, and it doesn't change. That means that maybe it's time to move on. And
Yes.
it's not always that easy, but you cannot stay in a place where you are being broken.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
That's okay. One final question. What advice would you give to someone who suspects they are experiencing gaslighting or
Okay.
manipulation from a narcissistic individual?
The first thing that I will say is inform yourself. Google gaslighting, Google narcissism, and have somebody. And I will say, because sometimes you have like friends that are very knowledgeable, that are very centered and can give you good advice and can help you. Because when you say, "Hey, my husband or my wife may have narcissistic tendencies," when you go through the list, because again, you have to be a professional to diagnose. It's good to have somebody who can say, "Hey, no, this is not right." Somebody who can tell you your truth. Somebody that if you are the problem will say, "No, you're not being gaslighted. Actually, you might be the gaslighter in this
Yes.
situation." That person is the person that can help you or seek professional advice, because you have to know before in order for you to recognize. And sometimes even professionals, this goes like you're being gaslighted and you don't know. I always remember that I went to give a training somewhere, and this was a mental health professional working like more than 20 years. And by me giving some examples, he was like, "Oh, I never realized I was being gaslighted by my ex-husband." So
Yes.
sometimes even you work that if you have knowledge doesn't always mean that you know everything or you can recognize everything. So it's important to have somebody who can help you. And I always put emphasis on somebody who can help you,
Yes.
because we know the people who will always take our sides. Those are not the good people to go to,
No.
because if you're wrong, they will tell you you're right. No, you will need somebody to tell you when you're wrong, when you're right, or when it's debatable, but that can tell you the truth.
Yes.
Mhm.
That is so important.
Let me start with the encouragement. Um, Please share, like, and share your stories, because there is nothing more liberating than hearing stories of people who went through something because me telling as a professional, it's very dry. I try to give examples, but it's dry. When somebody tells their story, what they went through, how they felt, the thoughts that they went into their head, how broken they were, and how they overcame it. Those are the things that can liberate another person. Your story can be of great help for another person. So please share your stories, share this video. The more people who hears about this, the more people that can have a better life. We have to stop suffering. We live in a world that there's a lot of suffering, a lot of pain. So whenever we can help to make the suffering less, to help somebody to overcome that pain, please do. I don't think it's our responsibility, but yes, it is. So please help and share and like and talk about this. Let's create a community where we can share our stories, because there's power in our stories. Yes. So that's the encouragement. If people want to get in contact with me, they can always send me a WhatsApp message. You can share my phone number. I live in Curacao, so the area code will be +5 999, so 3 times 9, and my phone number is 512-0705. But feel free to share my contact. Thank you, everyone. It was an honor to be here, and God bless you, and keep sharing.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to have you, and I know that this message will impact someone. And I'll see you at our next recording in the living room. Thank you, and God bless you.